Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pop Go the Writers. It is Sunday night. It is November 20th, I believe. Jim is in the land of the ice and snow, and I'm in the warm, balmy California. So we were comparing temperatures just a minute ago, and if you like winter weather, Jim's in the place you want to be.
Although just about 2 hours to the the east of me in Cleveland, they're covered in snow. I don't really have any snow here, but we have very, very cold here.
It's never snowed here.
Where
I'm living right now, it's never snowed. A couple of years ago, I drove to Denver just after New Year's and drove in the snow for the first time in my life.
Jeez.
Yep.
Well, no, we're a changing seasons place.
No, we're a permanent seasons. Yeah.
Good for you.
Okay, there seems to be an error on one of the things. Oh, we are now live on Twitch. So, hey, folks, sorry if you missed the pop. There you go. We're here on Pop Go the Writers. So, let's see, turn off the phone so we don't get interrupted. Okay, we're going to start by talking. We got three topics today. Jim only probably knows two of them. So we'll go through the first two, and then we'll get to the third one, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So the first topic.
Doctor Who, right?
No.
Oh, why? Geez, I watched hours and hours of Doctor Who since our last episode just for this.
Well, we're going to do a whole episode on Doctor Who, but that's going to be because I think we're going to get stuck into Doctor Who for an entire hour. So I don't want to bring that out yet until that's the only thing we got. So
okay,
yeah. So we're going to start off by talking about the passing of actor Jason David Frank, actor and martial artist or mixed martial artist. For those of you who aren't familiar with the name, he was one of the original Power Rangers. He played Tommy Oliver. He started off as an enemy and then quickly switched sides. He was the Green Ranger and eventually became the White Ranger. Even though he was in the first 3 seasons, did about 120 some odd episodes, he would then come back and reprise his role many, many times. He popped up in all the different iterations of the Power Rangers over the years. He also did a live, what's the term? Reality show about his life called My Morphin Life, which was, I believe, a web series.
Wow.
And then I want to say back 2016. It didn't come out till 2017. But there was Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe, which was a web series that starred Michael Rowe as Ninjak, and Jason David Frank played Bloodshot. And I know that one pretty well because when I was working at Bleeding Cool, we actually got the tip that this was happening, ran with the story before anybody else. Somebody just randomly called me and told me this was happening. I reached out to Valiant and said, this is what's going on. And they went, oh, no. Okay, we'd like to give you some information to help your story. And then I got invited to the set where I got to hang out with and interview both Michael Rowe and Jason David Frank.
Cool.
Both the guys were great. And if you follow me on Facebook, I posted a picture of myself and a couple other I hate using the term online journalist or comic journalist because I've never considered myself a comic journalist.
Just say journalist.
Yeah, but I just never considered myself a journalist, period.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. I was trying to make it sound better, but okay.
Yeah. But there's a couple of them, including writer David Prepost, who was there as well. So there was quite a few, there was 4 of us there with Jason. I posted the photo. But word came out late last night that he had possibly passed. It had come from some very varying sources, including his trainer, the artist Boss Logic, who is famous for doing fan posters and stuff. That get the
Oh,
attention of
yes.
that.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know
Yeah,
what you mean. Yeah.
he also confirmed it. The guys over at Bat in the Sun. Bat in the Sun is a father-son production company director. They do. If you ever see on YouTube where you have two superheroes, one from Marvel, one from DC, fighting each other, and it's a really pretty good production of it. That's usually Bat in the Sun Productions, and
Okay.
they're the ones that did the Ninjak versus Valiant Universe, and they also had confirmed it. But it was, but you read online and everybody was like, "No, I'm not believing it until I see a confirmation from somebody." Until TMZ, that's the funny thing is people are going until TMZ says it's true. I'm not believing it. And I'm thinking
Hmm.
TMZ is the barometer of truth now.
I guess in in this rarefied atmosphere that we live in, yes, I think that's
But
probably.
later this morning, my time, probably afternoon your time, the news did come out from TMZ and then Deadline that he did die. They're not saying what the cause of was, but a lot of his former castmates and his trainer and stuff are indicating that it was suicide.
Hmm.
Now we know that his daughter had committed suicide a year or so back,
Hmm.
and that
Oh.
he was going through a very messy divorce.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but he was 49 years old. He grew up probably 5 miles from me.
Mm.
He grew up in Covina, California, and I'm just west of him by a little bit.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it just kind of hit me kind of hard too. I mean, I wouldn't consider him a friend, but once you
Yeah.
interview a guy, you kind of get to know him. You talk to him for a while. They're
Sure.
a little
Sure.
past the
Sure.
and yeah. But 49, I mean, just the idea that somebody would take their own life or die, just whether he did that or not, just 49 is way
Absolutely.
too young.
Absolutely.
And for a guy, if you look online right now, everybody is every comic related person, every fan is
Mm-hmm.
posting their stories involving him.
Mm-hmm.
People saying, "Oh, I invited him over for dinner one time and he showed up and we hung out the night," or just actors. James Marsters, who played Spike on Buffy, um, John Barrowman, Captain Jack from Doctor Who, and Dark Archer from Arrow. All these guys are posting stories about their time hanging out with him and stuff on conventions,
Hmm.
and you know, I think just everybody is just shocked. You know.
Sure. Well, sure, especially if, there hasn't been like a long illness or, or something like that. Sure, it's, if it's sudden like this and wow, yeah, wow. Wait, when he came back to Power Rangers, you said he came back many times. I miss, he would be, I guess, older than the rest of the cast. So it was the same character. Did he act as sort of like a mentor figure at all?
Usually he did, but he storyline wise, he tapped into a power force slightly different than the rest of the Rangers when he became the White Ranger.
Hmm.
So he was almost like this, like the ultimate Ranger. So when he came back, whatever
Wow.
age he was always just a little more powerful. Look, he
Yeah.
would come back in the nick of time and save the day type stuff.
Okay. Okay.
He was like Racer X in that
Okay.
sense.
Okay. All right, that's interesting. There's a little bit of stuff like that in Ultraman too. There's Ultra King, who sort of comes out of nowhere and is really more powerful than the rest of them and saves the day, and then just sort of goes away again. Hmm.
Yeah. So his
Okay.
storyline would come in, and yeah, he'd play a mentor, and yeah,
So
he was.
when's the last time he would have done any Power Rangers work?
Oh, good question. Let's see. Like I said, he's been doing it on and off a
Age him out.
long. Let's see. It's not like Menudo where they completely age him out.
Okay, that's That's good to know for anybody who's been a Power Ranger.
Well, he popped up in 2018
Hmm.
in an episode of Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
Okay.
He was also in a short they did called Legacy Wars. He was the voice of Lord Drakion in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
Hmm. Well, okay, so I mean, the cool thing is that he liked being involved with Power Rangers.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one of these people who that's what makes them famous, and then they move on, and then they don't want to talk about it anymore. Whatever. It sounds like he had a lifelong connection with
Yeah.
Power Rangers. I know sort of. I know David Fielding, who was Zordon in Power Rangers. He actually wrote the foreword to my book Rising Sun Reruns. So my thoughts go out to David today. I'm sure David probably actually knew him.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Actually, it's funny you mentioned David. May take me too long to find this.
Do you know David?
I've met him.
Okay.
I was outside at a convention in LA, and we were waiting in line for a Mexican restaurant, and he was just standing there by himself, and none of us really recognized him, but we saw his comm badge, so we just started chatting with him.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm I don't know if."
Yeah, it's too. Oh, okay. Yes, I can pretty much see it now. Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, but and afterward, it's like, "Oh, wow, you're Zordon." So got a picture with him and stuff like that, and we chatted with him until it was time for everybody to go in.
Hmm.
Hey Jamal, I see JD made a fan film of Power Rangers not long ago. Right, I think it's not been released. I met him once and have a cosplay friend that was martial artist students of his. By the way, his initials are the same as mine. I met him once, super cool guy. Yeah,
Well,
he.
that's what
Yeah, like I
everybody was
said,
saying.
I got to meet him the one time and interview him, and he did like to refer to himself in the third person though, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine. So I was like, okay, but other than that, he was a really nice guy.
That's very interesting. I wonder
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, the Bat in the Sun productions are called Superpower Beatdowns, and they've done some really good ones. They did a great one of Hawkeye versus Green Arrow.
And these are live action.
Live action. They take cosplayers and play it. And yeah, look up Bat in the Sun. They do some really good stuff.
Okay.
There's also a really good Wolverine versus Wonder Woman.
Hmm. And DC and Marvel don't come down on them, huh?
No, because they don't. I don't think they do it to make money. They're just fan films.
Yeah, and there's a gray. I know it's a gray area there. It technically, they shouldn't be doing that. But if a company looks the other way, then
Yeah, I think it's kind of like
making a buck off of it is definitely a line that shouldn't be crossed.
Well, they don't say anything when you see. It's like when you go to a convention and you see these artists in Artist Alley with these giant backdrops of all these prints they've made, and they're pictures of Psylocke and Deadpool. And
I know, and yes, and again, technically, that's crossing a line. You're making money off of those characters. The companies usually don't say anything when their own artists do that because they want to maintain that relationship.
Right.
There used to be like at one point, like DC had said something like, you can only do art when you're sitting at our booth or something like that. You can only draw our character. I don't know. It's some kind of silly thing that I don't think ever held up, like that. But you know what? Just recently, the people that do they film Star Trek episodes, like of it's like Star Trek: The New Voyages or whatever the heck, and they're really good and really fun, and I always really liked them. And they shut those or they did something where they limited what they could do. They really came down on them, and they again were a not for profit
right.
type of thing. But what it was is that they were filming like full half hour or hour episodes. I mean, they were really going to town.
Yeah.
Full sets, costumes, everything, and Kirk and the Kirk, Spock, McCoy characters too.
I know one publisher's got kind of an interesting policy when it comes to doing prints, which is the president of the company says, "Send me an email and ask permission.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you permission, and that's all it takes. Just let's have that documentation."
Yeah, right. So it's out in the open. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty straightforward and fair. But so yeah. Condolences to his family, friends, and fans, his co-stars.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's go ahead and move on to Andor, because I want to save the third thing for a surprise topic for you.
Okay.
So, I gotta say, this show seems to be getting better every week.
Yeah. At least it maintains the high level. Yeah. You don't seem to ever get like a bad episode or a lackluster episode.
CBS says if you have to use official prop, CBS mandate if you have to use official props and costumes. Oh, Star Trek set 15 minutes, no sequel rules now. No hire of people who worked on real Trek. Okay.
Yeah. Right. 15 minutes. Yeah. You have to. Yeah. It has to be really short.
I saw a fan movie of Gambit, which I thought was pretty interesting because, it looked like any other fan movie. It was good production. Obviously, the people working on it are in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, this is just, a good fan film. They're showing what they can do. And then the bad guy for the little movie came out, and it was freaking Eric Roberts. And I'm like, wait a minute, when do you get Eric Roberts to do your fan film?
I guess you know him or something like that. Back in the day, they had actual Star Trek actors. I know George Takei did at least one back in the day. I think Walter Koenig did too. These people that I'm talking about, this Star Trek: The New Voyages or Star Trek Continues or whatever it was, they actually had the guy that played Apollo in Who Mourns for Adonis return as the character. So, I think that's when Paramount starts to say, now, hold on a second here.
We may want to do that.
And it was really interesting because I can't think of the actor's name, but they had him come back like Apollo returned, and there was an explanation as to why he looked, older, even though he was an immortal being and all this. But it was really, really interesting. But yeah, that's probably was another nail in their coffin.
Yeah. So, okay, we moved on to Andor.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, it had a space battle.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, well, as much as I love the show, it's like, give me some Star Wars-y thing going on here. And when that whole sequence started, it was like, wow, this is an actual space battle.
I came out of that thinking, is Luthen a Jedi?
Well, he has like a double-bladed lightsaber thing sticking out of the sides of his ship. But you know what? Beyond that, it's also a big oh no. Like, he has to ditch that ship now.
Yeah.
I mean, he really effed up or
he
whatever,
could probably,
that he walked right into that.
It still looks like a base ship. So if he changes the transponder number, which he seemed to give, so he might be able to do it. By the way, hello, Amy. Good to see you. Amy is one of our regulars, and she's always nicely pops up and says hello and wishes us well. So
hello.
Yeah. But between that, just the way he carries himself, and then that walking stick of his, and how attached he is to it. You know, it just,
Either put it down or give it back.
yeah, it makes me think. Maybe he wasn't a Jedi. Maybe he was in line for it. Maybe somebody posted a picture of the little kid from the prequels that looks up at Anakin when they're about to do Order 66
Mm-hmm.
and says, "What are we going to do?"
Mm-hmm.
And then they show a picture of Stellan Skarsgård and go, "Maybe."
No, I think we're in the realm of fan wish fulfillment. I honestly don't see any Jedi-ness in
Yeah.
the show. Although, when was it? Just the other day, this morning, whenever it was, I thought, what's really funny is you're watching the Andor. Here's all these people. They're doing all this and that. The rebellion is forming. It's you want to sit these people down and go, your rebellion will finally end with the fall of the Empire, but it's going to be brought about by a space wizard. No matter what you guys do here, it don't really matter. It's all going to come down to a space wizard with a laser sword and,
Yep.
and his dad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the nice things about this series is it hasn't dived into Jedis and the Force,
Yeah.
and it's been devoid of that. So
Yeah.
part of me hopes it doesn't, but then I look at just the scenes we watched, and it's like he's kind of a badass.
Yeah, very much so. But I really don't think it has anything to do with other than he's just a badass. You know what I mean? It's like I don't foresee any kind of Jedi stuff there. Although, again, every time they're on Coruscant, I usually say to myself, the Emperor is somewhere on in that same planet city. Like, I know it's not going to happen, but I just wish we could get a little cameo of Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor. Or can you imagine the Emperor and the Imperial Guards walk into Luthen's shop? It's like the beginning of a joke. You know? The Emperor and his two guards walk into Luthen's shop. But I mean, that would be really funny. And I could see the Emperor saying, like, is that a Jedi artifact right there? Yeah. What are you doing with that?
Jamal says that if his walking stick is a saber, it's got a coalwood handle. He referred to it as a salt and pepper shaker saber.
I mean, maybe it's an actual sword,
Yeah. It seems like it's more. Luthen's got some secrets.
Oh,
I think we can agree on that.
I think the guy is completely made up of secrets. Yeah, he'd fall all apart if he didn't have secrets.
And it wouldn't surprise me if it turns out that he's an ex-soldier, that he's somehow connected. Mm-hmm. Because he's old enough. I mean, it's supposed to be what? Oh, God, I knew. It's only like 15, 20 years.
15. It's something like that.
Yeah.
You're suggesting he was a soldier for who?
Don't know. That's the thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe he was a separatist. He could be
a separatist. He could be a spy for somebody.
Yeah.
There's just something about him.
I mean, he's obviously not a clone trooper.
Or maybe he got surgery.
We're back into the realm of
I know. It's just
wish fulfillment here. Yeah.
It's the penultimate episode. We got one episode left. I have not done this in the entire show, other than making the bad joke about him Kino Loy becoming the Snoke. So you got to give me a little bit of fan theorizing.
The whole
here.
Kino Loy thing is over. He's done. He's over. He either
no body, no death,
or he did that prison, or he's right back in prison.
No
he's
death.
Over and done. We're never going to see him again.
No body, no death.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yep. So, no, I just think that his maneuvers and stuff were pretty amazing.
Yes, yeah. yeah, he's definitely has some sort of military
Yeah.
pilot something training experience,
Yeah.
and I mean, and where did he get that ship for that matter? Hey, did they ever say where the money that they got from the payroll thing where it actually went, like who got it? Or
I think Luthen got it.
yeah, I mean, right. It's like I wonder what he was using it for. Do you know
But
who's become a standout character in this show for me is Saw.
Saw Gerrera, yeah.
Forrest
Whitaker.
Whitaker. I have to get on another podcast. I got his name wrong, and I said Forrest Tucker. And my podcast partner was like giving me a hard time for that. He's like, I think you mean Forrest Whitaker. But Forrest
What
Whitaker,
is different?
yeah, right. Forrest Whitaker is amazing.
Yeah, he plays that paranoia so well.
I didn't much care one way or another for him in Rogue One, but I'm really like every time he's on, I love to listen to him talk. I walked around today at work going, he's slow and stupid. When he was describing Krieger,
Yeah,
slow and stupid.
yeah.
I could listen to him say that over and over and over again.
Jamal says that Luthen used the money from the payroll to buy that lightsaber setup on his ship.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, listen, that better not be lightsaber technology. That's all I got to say.
Well, what's the thing he gave Cassian as the down payment? What was it?
I'm not going to say it. I am not going to say it.
It was a kyber crystal. Come on.
Blah, 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 blah.
He gave him a kyber crystal that he wanted back.
Okay. Well,
he may not be a Jedi, but I think he might have worked with them.
I think he's Grogu's half brother. Jeez. I can't believe this because I love that part of Star Wars, the space wizards and the laser swords and all of that. And I get a little mad when people say, Andor shows that you don't have to have space wizards and everything. It's like, number one, Star Wars is all about those space wizards and always will be. And then here's me, saying right now, like, please, no space wizards in this thing.
Can I give you a slight variation on that idea? And you're not going to stop me.
It's only going to be as ludicrous as the other ones, right? Go ahead.
What if he's a former Sith or Sith apprentice?
No.
He was being pulled down the dark side, turned around, but he's still got those. I mean, look how
what
easily
if he's related to the Fets? I don't know. What if he's a Hutt and had surgery?
His ship had 2 giant red lightsabers. Come on.
Okay, well, that's probably going to be the cliffhanger for the next
episode. He uses Anakin's spin maneuver to get rid of the TIE fighter.
Yeah, yes. That is exactly.
I don't think that's where they're going to go. I think they're completely staying away from that.
He's Shmi Skywalker's ex-husband. I love Star Wars fans. I really do. We have to draw connections.
He's Grandpa Skywalker.
Yeah, everywhere we have to. It is the girl that works for him his daughter.
See, now I just like messing with you.
I know, and I serve that purpose in life for people. Everybody has to have somebody like me as a foil. So do you see the last episode? What?
Jay says he's Porkins.
You know what? At least that's a little bit more believable than some of these other things. No, he's General Dodonna is who he is.
He's Admiral Akbar.
He's Admiral Akbar. I knew I was walking into a trap here.
Yeah. I do find it fascinating.
This season ending on a cliffhanger.
No, I don't see it ending on a cliffhanger because now I could be wrong, but the reason I don't think it's going to is because they made it very clear that season 1 is year 5. Then season 2 is going to be year 4, then years 3, 2, and 1, leading right into Rogue One. So I think, there may be unanswered questions, but I don't think it'll be where we pick up. There's going to be a time jump, I think, of some kind.
I would definitely think so. Is Cassian going to go to his mother's funeral, which would be the stupidest move he could do, but I would understand that he'd want to go to it.
Of course he is.
Ugh.
They're putting all the players there. How
some of them, but yeah, actually, right. Cyril's going there. I don't think Dedra's going to go there. I think she has enough people on the ground to cover.
I think Cyril's going there. Dedra's going there. Mm-hmm. Luthen's going there, and I think Cassian is definitely going there.
Okay. Why you think Luthen's going there to get in touch with Cassian?
I think he still wants Cassian part of the rebellion.
I think so too. So you think that he's going to go there because he knows that Cassian's going to be there?
He said so.
Yeah.
In that coded conversation before the Imperial ship showed up, he talked about getting the artifact. He was referring to Cassian. It was all coded language.
Okay. Right.
He's talking about us getting it, and it could be a game changer. He really thinks Cassian's the difference.
Then I say Luthen is going to be captured. Maybe that's how this season ends. He's going to be captured or killed.
I can see it. I don't want to see it. I want more Stellan Skarsgård in season 2.
And I totally get that. If I would think that he's got to be in big demand these days. Especially, one of the Easter egg videos I watched was making fun of they were saying like how fantastic he is in this and just wonderful, and they're like, and they showed a quick clip from the second Thor movie, whatever Thor movie where he's running around in the nude at Stonehenge, and they're like, Marvel just totally wasted this guy. He was totally wasted at Marvel, and they're kind of making fun of what he did there as opposed to what he's doing in Star Wars. There's got to be yet another catalyst to drive Cassian even more toward the rebellion. I've seen speculation that the Empire blows up the funeral or something like that, and then that pushes him. But I don't think he has necessarily a connection enough with Luthen that if Luthen was killed or captured, that would.
Right. But if Luthen comes back for him and saves him, because that's what Mavra did, saved him and got him off the planet.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Cassian does not get captured again. I mean, he just escaped from prison. Yeah. I don't want to see a series of he's captured, he goes, he escapes, he's captured, he escapes. What would really do it is if he saw Bix again, but Bix is wherever Coruscant or where or no, wait a minute, no, Bix is on Ferrix. Okay, well then that could be it. He sees what they've done to Bix, and that's good with him.
Yeah, they might have to rescue Bix. That might be what goes on.
Yeah.
And Bix's death might be.
I see that coming too. I brought this up once before. Cinta is working in the bar, Ferrex, and it's the bar where the undercover Imperial, who's watching Andor's mother's house, she's working in the same place that guy hangs out. But is Cinta the lost sister?
I'm still thinking she is, because they brought that up and then dropped it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they really have.
It's Chekhov's missing sibling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get back to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm
I'm just glad all of his money was still on top of that shower.
Yeah. I have a feeling that Dedra's going to be there, and I have a feeling that it's going to get to a situation where she's about to die and Cyril may actually save her.
Huh.
And ingratiates himself to her. Because again, there is no reason for Cyril to be in this story anymore.
I still think Cyril goes to the rebellion. I really, really feel that he goes to the rebellion. He gets so put off by the structure of the empire and his old life and all of that, and that he goes over to the rebellion, because all he has left is to go back to his horrible mother.
Yeah, but the structure of his life and all that seems to be what he likes.
I know, but I'm wondering if there's something where he says that he can adapt all of that to the rebellion and help give it some structure. I don't know. I really feel like that's where that character's heading, because otherwise, yeah, it's like what you say. It's like, why is he in this? And just to go back or become a high-ranking Imperial officer or what, I don't know, or whatever, just doesn't make much sense to me and is kind of boring. I like the idea of that he goes to the one place that no one would ever expect him, to end up in, and that would be with the rebels.
Like I said, they could go a completely different direction and just have him die as a side thing, like nobody even knows he's there. He gets killed in a crossfire, and
then we're still in the territory of what's the point. No offense, I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
one more episode.
There's a lot of unanswered questions, but with the fact that they know there's a season 2, I don't know. I think they're going to keep a lot of these players in place for the next season. I don't think they're probably going to kill some. I think we're probably done with Ferrex after this episode.
Somebody's got to die.
Yeah.
It's probably Bix,
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Dedra, and this is cold, but if she kills Bix and then holds the gun onto his other buddy and says, okay, one of your friends is dead. Do you want to lose another or come out?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I can see that. I think we're pretty much done with, is his name Melshi?
You think we're not going to see Melshi again until Rogue One?
I wouldn't be surprised. We're definitely not going to see him next episode. And if we see him at all in season 2, I think it's going to be right towards the end.
Yeah, I think he'll pop back up maybe halfway through season 2.
Something like that. But yeah, I think that's definitely done for this season. And I hope to God we don't see Cyril's mother anymore. Ugh. I mean, I don't. She's not even fun to hate. I just hate that character so much.
She reminds me of an older actress named Nancy.
Yeah.
Was it Nancy?
You're talking about Rhoda's mother.
Yes.
Dan, that is the funniest damn thing, because my other podcast partner has been saying that all along. In fact, he refers to her as Rhoda's mother. He'll go, "Oh, and then Rhoda's mother did this." Or yeah, that's terrible. I can't think of her name, but you're right. It's Nancy something. Yeah. She was very popular back in the day.
Was she also the spokeswoman for Palmolive with the whole "you're soaking in it"?
No, that's
Nancy Cartwright. Thank you, Jamal.
No. That's definitely somebody's different.
Yeah.
But yes, that's so funny that you said that. I because I didn't I didn't think of that myself until he said it, but I guess there are other people who are thinking that exact same thing.
All right, so we got one more episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about what we think is going to happen, so I am looking forward to that.
And then
But
no more shows. No more shows this year. Like I don't get it. I don't get any more Marvel shows or Star Wars shows.
No, one more Marvel show
this year.
Friday.
What?
We get the holiday special, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Series.
Oh,
yes,
no more series.
Yes, totally. You know what we do get though is Willow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I will definitely watch Willow. We can cover that.
Yeah. It's funny. What I'm going to do is right before it starts, I'm going to rewatch the movie. I haven't seen that movie. I think the last time I saw it was the only time I saw it in the theater, and I never disliked it. It just didn't make a huge impact on me. But I think it's really fascinating that they've done this, series, and I'm all in for it. It looks good, looks fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm
fill in my time too.
Yeah. I hope Val Kilmer makes a guest appearance or a cameo or something.
My other podcast partner told me all about Val Kilmer's part in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. And I give him a lot of credit for doing that. It sounded really, interesting, and plus probably a little strenuous on him, to do that. I can't see him popping up in Willow because unless there's some way for someone to like translate for him or speak for him or, something like that, since there's no electronic means, to do that. But we'll see.
Well, they do amazing things with voices now. And
yeah.
They do James Earl Jones' voice. They do Mark Hamill's younger voice.
Yeah.
So they might
maybe we'll be surprised. Who knows?
And there's so many really good imitators out there that can do all these different voices.
Yeah, well, it's terrible. I can't think of who does Yoda. Famous
Frank Oz?
actor. Huh?
Frank Oz?
No. The other famous actor who does his voice. He did it for I think some of the radio dramas and something else. John Lithgow.
Oh.
Is able to do Yoda, like a really good Yoda. I'm pretty sure it was John Lithgow who did it for some of the radio dramas that they did instead of Frank Oz.
I forgot about Claremont's Willow book. That would be interesting. I have to look into that. Jamal points out that Chris Claremont had a Willow book.
A novel? Yeah, there's at least one Willow novel, if not two.
Yeah, I know there was a book that he and Lucas did together. But I didn't think that was Willow. But all right, I want to get on to our third topic while we have a few minutes.
Okay.
Now, this came out from an interview with Nate Moore. Nate is the one of the producers at Marvel. He worked on all the Captain America movies. He's does a lot of the movies. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about before Civil War, they had a different Captain America saga in mind. They were going to do one that they would then, even though it didn't have these characters in it originally, they were going to find a way to work Baron Zemo and the Winter Soldier into it because that's where it is. But they originally were going to adapt the Madbomb.
Wow, Kirby's first Captain America arc in modern times.
Yeah, when he returned.
Yeah,
from Captain America number 193 to number 200. Mm-hmm. The story about a bomb that basically gives people temporary insanity and turns them into berserkers. Right. And they attack each other. Right. And the whole idea would be to have Baron Zemo become the guy that sets it off and controls it. And it would be up to Cap and the Winter Soldier to stop it. And Cap would have to deal with the fact that all of these innocent people were attacking him. So you got that moral dilemma.
So they would not have included the Falcon because he's in the Madbomb story.
But they don't. He doesn't specifically say it. but he doesn't negate him either. So
Okay.
it sounds like he would still have been in the story.
Yeah, I'd hate to see that they would have, taken him out of there. There is also, I think that's the story where there's the group that Cap goes up against has a real particular theme. It's got something to do with
Royalists or something?
the Royalists, right? The American Revolution. It was something like that. It was a really weird, but it was a group that he went up against. Okay,
Yeah.
makes me wonder if they would have done, something with that too.
Yeah.
And tell me again, what was the source of all of this? Who was talking about this?
This was Nate Moore, one of the producers on the
Okay,
Civil War.
okay.
So this wasn't oh, it's a rumor. He was being interviewed on a podcast, and I can quote him actually.
Yeah, and this would have been the follow-up to the first Avenger, the Avengers. It would have been the next.
This would have been a follow-up to the Winter Soldier. This would have been.
Pardon me. I apologize. It went off the rails there. I thought it was instead of the Winter Soldier. Okay, so it would have been the follow-up to. You're right. You said before they did Civil War. Got it.
Yeah. So he says, where is it?
That would have been incredible. That would have been really interesting.
Yeah, he said the reason it didn't happen though was Kevin Feige came to him and said, "That's not a big enough idea, guys." And Nate was like, "Well, let us write a draft. We'll prove it to you." So as they were getting it done, Kevin pulls him aside and says, "I think we should do Civil War." And he comes back, he goes, "We don't have any of the stuff to do Civil War. We don't have the new Warriors. We don't have all this stuff." And then about a day later, he goes, "Yeah, I can totally see us doing the Civil War." And that's how it happened. But yeah,
I think we've just uncovered the plot to New World Order.
It might be.
It's the Madbomb story.
So he says, so we were developing Captain America 3, and we were doing really good. Winter Soldier work, people were back in. They're interested, and we were talking about a movie, and we knew we had to resolve, obviously, the Winter storyline, Winter Soldier storyline. We wanted Cap and Bucky to ultimately reunite, and the plot that we knew we wanted to use Zemo. What a great character. He obviously a classic Cap villain, and we were building the movie around a MacGuffin around the Madbomb, which the Madbomb goes off and causes normal people to start fighting each other. It's honestly a little similar to what they did in The Kingsman. He says, and it was cool, and it was grounded, and it was political, and whatever. And Feige was like, "It's not big enough idea, guys." So, but yeah, so I figured if anybody was going to enjoy the idea that they were going to do an old Kirby storyline, it was you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really appreciate that. You know what? I mean, I wish they could adapt that for one of the TV series, because if it's not a big enough idea, which I would argue, for a movie, then it might be something good for the basis for, a show. Like a second. Well, obviously, we're not going to get a second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're getting a movie. We're getting Captain America: New World Order, which is fine. Yeah. But that's really fascinating. That cover, the first cover for the Madbomb story, is an iconic. It's not just an iconic Kirby cover. It's just an iconic Captain America cover.
You can buy it as a rug.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Buy it as a rug.
But yeah, I saw that today, and I'm like, I'm going to do an episode on this.
Yeah,
I'm going to do an episode of my show, the Dan Wickline show.
Now, is that guy still working for Marvel Studios?
Yeah, he's one of the big producers there.
Okay, he's not going to give something away like that, so obviously they're not going to follow, or they're not going to use that. Now, I doubt if you would just give something away, like that, before it would be said.
Well, New World Order is supposed to have the return of the leader, and there was a New World Order storyline. So I don't know if they're adapting that, because I believe that was the leader trying to turn everybody into gamma mutates.
Is that you know what I was going to say? I really don't remember what New World Order was. I've read a lot of comic book stories over the years. Hey, Dan, did you see this?
Very nice.
But did you see this?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's okay. No problem. I've seen it twice now.
I know you have.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get over there in the next week.
Okay.
Things have been absolutely hectic here, you know.
You know what? The longer you go, I mean, we still always have that to talk about, right?
Yep.
Look at how long it took us to talk about Love and Thunder, I think it was.
Yeah.
Wow. The news from Chris Hemsworth, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Now, I think it sounds a little worse than it is, because he's talking about taking a hiatus, but he's not quitting acting.
No, I think he said taking a break, you know. But you know what? I said this to my other podcast partner. If he did decide to walk away from the character of Thor, this is actually not a bad moment to do it, because nothing's really hanging with Thor.
Yeah,
you know,
it sounds like he wants to do one last movie, that he wants to close the door on the character, because it doesn't, you know, with Cap and Iron Man, Cap, Iron Man, and Black Widow, they all got finales, basically, that you find out the end of their story, and you don't with Thor. Now, he's a god, so maybe you're not supposed to.
Well, you know, maybe that will be the two Avengers movies that we have coming.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that would be the place for it. But, you know, again, it's like, this is not really a bad place if he did suddenly decide, you know, that he wanted to wrap up the character. But yeah, I totally agree that it would be nice to have some sort of coda to the whole thing. But just wow, I give him a lot of credit for they kept it part of the show, this thing which I haven't watched yet, I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, that he wanted it to be kept as part of the show and not try to, you know, hide it or anything like that. And now I'm starting to think, did his brother go out and get this test too? You know, I mean, really his whole family.
Luke and Liam, would both want to go out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more prevalent for him and his brothers because it comes from both their parents.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I was asked if I thought that the character should be recast, and I said, absolutely not. Just like Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, T'Challa, the actor is so much a part of the character as it stands now that you cannot separate. Not after 10 plus years now.
Mm-hmm. And Marvel's finding interesting ways to replace characters. You know, we have Sam stepping in as Cap, and then with the post-credit scene of Black Panther, we see how they're going to handle that character going in the future. So I could see them progressing that way.
Yeah, and we have Riri now as sort of the Iron Man, type of character.
Yeah, see, I don't take it that way because she doesn't take the name.
No, I see what you're saying. Unless Rhodey does take the name, maybe in Armor Wars.
Yeah.
I could see the very end, the very last scene of Iron Wars is Rhodey going, I am Iron Man.
I don't think they will. I think that's one character they won't replace. I think we'll have armor-suited characters like that, but I don't think there will be another person. And then if it was going to be anybody, Rhodey did suit up as Iron Man for a while in the comics.
Yes, yeah. When Tony had his
Right.
alcoholism
Yeah, but
issue.
Riri never suits up as Iron Man. It's always as Ironheart.
No, I know. I was just saying like a similar type of thing. I mean, she's a child prodigy, and she has, she gets the heads up display and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, just thinking of Armor Wars makes me so look forward to Stingray finally coming into the MCU. Yeah, I'm gonna be, I don't get mad like other fans and get entitled and think that I'm owed things or whatever. But if Stingray is not in that movie, then I'm going to be really pissed.
Was his suit Iron Man related? I thought he made it himself.
Right. But in the original Armor Wars storyline, Tony thought that Stingray had his tech, and it turned out that it didn't. But but of course we had to have a fight scene, and they had to go at it, and then he had to find out that no, he did not. But we need that exact same thing. It's as simple as that.
I think they're going to save Stingray for a Namor solo movie.
No, that's even farther in the future. Come on. Oh.
The all aquatic episode. Directed by James Cameron.
Oh God, no.
Namor, damn, that's a lot of water.
Water is wet. It's called Namor. Water is wet.
Yeah. Or Namor, where did his bulge go? Sorry.
I saw that, or rather, I did see that, and I wish that I could unsee it, but come on.
Yeah, it's a family movie.
It's right. It's just SOP. I mean, it's nothing new under the sun. I'm not surprised in the slightest.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah. They used to do that all the way back on the old Batman series. Yeah.
Yes. They were very concerned about Burt Ward, and tried all different sorts of things.
According to Burt Ward.
They even it was the straw that broke the camel's back when they started talking about an operation, and Burt Ward's like, no. They even they gave him some kind of drug or whatever to take to. Oh my God, he could probably sue them today for
probably
ED problems.
Yeah.
To trace it back to that. Dan, how did we get on this topic?
Just the flow of the conversation.
You brought it up. I want it on the record that you brought it up. Wow.
On that note, thank you all for tuning in. We will be back next. I assume you're going to be here next Sunday, Jim?
Yes. I had to think of what the date was. Yes.
Well, it is the Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no. I had nothing else going on, so why
not? This week on the Dan Wickline Show, Tuesday, I will be joined by Kevin Van Hook, co-creator of Bloodshot, and he's got a new book coming out called Changelings, and he is also part of the new Frank Miller Presents publisher. Wow. He's going to be working on a series for them. Wow. But the Experience, where my other show is on, has Frank Miller and Dan DiDio and Philip Tan all on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Well, Dan will be on at 5 with Joe Prado and some of the people working on Ancient Enemies. And then at 5:30, Dan will stay. Frank Miller, Philip Tan, and the colorists will all join as well. I'm doing this off the top of my head, so I'm forgetting names. So, but big show tomorrow on this Jen's show with Frank Miller. If you guys want to tune in for that,
a really big shoe.
Really big shoe. And then I'll have again Kevin Van Hook on Tuesday at 5, and then on Wednesday I will be talking about the finale of Andor, and no show Thursday because of the holiday. So that is the week. All right. Jim, have a great Thanksgiving to everybody here. If you celebrate,
happy Thanksgiving. Bye, Rising Sun reruns.
Yep. If you're English, we're sorry. But And we'll see you guys next Sunday. Have a good night.